All right, so branching off to generational wealth, I guess. For those who don't know what generational wealth, you want to give a definition? We could do it ourselves. Just wondering, like, let's just for folks.
I'm not like a Webster dictionary, but when I think of
Yeah.
generational wealth, money that can be passed on, money assets that can be passed on to your children and
Yep.
their children in order to help them have wealth that they can leverage to continuously make money that works for them.
Yep. Yeah. Adding on to that, I agree. It's one generation to another, right? That's what it is, and with a kind of formal tradition where there's. So one of the things that I feel like I start thinking about more and more as I get older is like, okay, you know what? Or what am I going to leave behind to a certain degree? Because even obviously me and my parents had this conversation because they're talking about as they're getting older, you're going to have that kind of conversation, right?
Hmm.
And they're like, oh yeah, hey, you're gonna be my beneficiary for this house stuff. I'm like, oh, that's when it hit the kind of like the light bulb in a sense, right? Um, and it is a hard talk, to be honest, especially when you're having that kind of conversation with your parents.
Oh yeah.
And then they're kind of disclosing some stuff. And one of the things that I realized is like, damn, they work all this much hours just for this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
and and it's mind blowing that you would think that you would think that you don't realize how much effort until you realize to see the results that they've gone. Like because they hide stuff very well. They really do. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
somehow they really do. And you would think that they were transparent from the beginning. Nope.
Keep everything close to your chest.
They
For
keep it
sure.
close to the chest. And
Man. Whew.
and when it comes out, it comes out, like, and so I feel like once, so we got through that hurdle now, and then now that made me start thinking, okay, you know what? I need to start thinking moves where that is not as much as the risk that I used to take, but also at the same time, I don't want to minimize myself from an opportunity that
Right.
whether it's worth to take the risk.
Right.
And I feel like that's where I'm going to cross over. Okay, you know what should I do next? And I'm kind of thinking about more of my risk side more than I used to. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. I'm still like,
yeah.
I'll 10 the risk. I don't care. Like I'm on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm still on like a 9, right? But there's a
So I
but
used to be like that last 2 years, and now I'm at 7 now.
I know, but I now I'm like more segregated in my risk, right? So then I'll have like 80% at like a 6, and then the other percentage 20% will be at a 10, and then even it out that way, right? Like, um, and that's really how I think about it, because like before is like, oh, go big or go home. Like I don't have any
Go
money.
big, go home.
I don't have any money. If I lose this, I'm still here, right? Like whatever.
I'm sitting here like, ooh, so I'm still my parents' retirement plan. Okay.
Let me ask you this, Liz. So I mean, obviously, you probably do a lot of risk assessment, right?
Mhm.
So how about what do you like right now? Like, how do you do judge or I guess calculate your own personal risk assessment?
I look at how long it's going to take me to turn, like, to flip the investment
Yeah.
at this point. So, um, certain risk I'm not going to take. I'm just not. Like, if you were told me to, like, all right, jump new companies, I'm like, oh, pause. We're not doing that right now. You got
Yeah.
to show me something that makes it worth it. But
Yeah.
I'm more about calculated risk. So I'm very much going to say if I take this
So hey,
investment.
Liz, put $10,000 in GameStop right now.
No, listen. If you told me that, like, I'm so pissed because I looked at that stock when I was like, oh, it's still $50. I should buy some shares, and I did not, and I kick myself to this day that I did not buy the additional shares that I wanted to buy.
But would you have sold though when you would make
Oh
money?
hell yes, I don't.
You don't hold. You don't hold. Okay.
You don't hold.
No,
No,
I do hold, but there's certain things I don't hold. Like
not hold
GameStop.
on. GameStop. GameStop is not one that you hold.
No, that wasn't a stock. That wasn't a stock that I was like, oh yeah, you should hold on to this. Because when I look at what's happening with gaming, and I was like, nah, that's not gonna work. But neither here nor there. But what I would say, if you were to say drop $10,000 on something, I'm like, pause. Let me actually do some research, see what's happening, what's next, what's not. Because for me personally, I can't. There's certain risk I can't take at this age. I'll take a specific risk, and their risk I just won't take at all. It's like, well, no, I'll go skydiving, but I won't. I won't
Yeah, it's
jump
it's
high.
it's more like yeah, you know what's like for me. It was like as long as I segregate this out, and I
Mhm.
have my money to go YOLO
Mhm.
on, and then
You know.
the other side is
Yep.
like I know it's gonna make money. It's gonna be it's like doing its own
Yeah.
thing. I'm not
Yep.
gonna touch that. Like that stuff is good. And then I have my fun money that I'm just gonna go and
So so you
try to
so
be a
you budget
billionaire on
it.
that money.
So you budgeted that little pocket on the side as well.
Yeah, I have like separate
Yeah.
accounts for YOLO.
Agreed. Agreed. I would definitely say I think my YOLO is more so budgeted for plants, but neither here nor there. But I would say I always keep for me, I always look at discretionary income, like stuff that's left over. Like I paid up my bills, I put money into my savings, I actually put the money I put to the side for investing. Oh, I see a stock that I'm researching. I think it's gonna be a hot one. That's literally like, okay, toss that in.